What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Investing Bros live show. We got a lot to talk about today, but the number one thing we're going to be discussing is liquidity that is coming in from around the globe. Yes, crypto prices are down today. Guess what? They're down to a level we called right here on this very channel. We'll talk more about levels, short-term, medium-term, long-term. You got to understand, just because one time frame says bullish doesn't mean other time frames can't be bearish. We'll explain all of that and a whole lot more, but there are so many reasons to be bullish still on the crypto markets over the next couple of months. Some of you are saying, where's this October? Guess what, guys? It's the 2nd. Let's calm down a little bit. Let's be patient. Got a long month of October to still see another bullish monthly candle. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. So do not go anywhere. Smash that like button. Let's get 600 likes and give someone $50 today. Make sure you also are subscribed to the channel for all of our daily content. But with that said, we got to roll the intro. T-Shroom.
Here we are.
T-Shroom. How you doing today, my friend?
Oh, Tim, better than I deserve. 100%. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Got a lot done. I know you and Crux crushed the morning show this morning, our Wednesday morning live show. You guys talked about some Kaspa and some XRP. We might talk a little bit more about some of that stuff later. But yeah, got a lot done. Had a nice visit to the gym. Always having a good day when you get to the gym. Got some good upper body pull action in.
Sweet.
Did you get your workout in today, or are you a nighttime workout guy now?
Oh, we worked out last night. I'm very sore. We've got our gym membership here in the on the Space Coast.
Cool.
Very cool. It's cool. It's a kind of a gritty gym. Lots of big, muscly men and women.
Nice.
So when I get in there, I feel really at home.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I was going to say other people get discouraged. Yeah, I completely understand. That's good for you, T-Shirt. I'm glad you're out there helping some of the young folks learn about the art of bodybuilding. Let's go ahead, T-Shirt. Unless you have anything else you want to talk about, let's go ahead and jump into some crypto. What do you think?
I think that is a capital idea.
Let's do it. Let's come in here. Let's start off with the bubbles. And I promise, if you guys see it, I'm not getting emotional. I don't know why. Maybe it's this fan blow on my face. I'm tearing up. And I don't really know why. I'm not sad about anything. Maybe I do. Maybe I'm crying because it still is a sea of red over here on the crypto bubbles. Go ahead and take a look at the chart over here. With the exception of Hex, Wormhole, CFX, Flare, I guess Sui's up a little bit, FTT. A lot of red here, right? The biggest red, Lido, Tia, Bonk, Arweave. We're going to take a look today at some XRP TA. We're going to look at Sui here in a little bit. Of course, Sui has had big gains over the last couple of weeks. Will that rally continue, or will it be going to the downside? But as you can see right here, crypto in the last 24 hours has been a little bit in the red. El Thoro says Tim's crying because of this last buying opportunity. Yes, it's tears of joy is what it is. You're right. Last dip. Someone said that also Crypto Maxi says Tim cutting onions. Here's the secret, guys. The secret to cutting onions is do not form an emotional attachment with them first. Then you should be okay. Ever since I've applied that rule, I've not cried cutting onions in a very, very long time. That being said, let's go over here and take a look at what's happening here with Bitcoin. Let's start with a zoomed out perspective. Let's turn off Lux Algo for a second. Now, we're coming back down, it looks like, to retest this purple line. But at the moment, it is held up. We here on this channel, we like to remind people when you're investing, you do not use the word perfect. You go with good, right? You want to buy at good levels. You want to sell at good levels. Rarely, when you try to go for perfect, do you actually get a successful entry or exit in your positions. With that said, these last two major reversals, at least to where we're kind of looking, perfect is almost the term we want to use here. You guys remember we preached pretty heavily after we started to rally back here late in September that the level here at 66,000 would be a major level of resistance with the liquidity. Well, we briefly wicked above for a couple of hours, but could never close even a 4-hourly candle above that yellow line. It ended up being perfect resistance and started to move to the downside. Well, where did we tell you guys that we thought a good bottom position for Bitcoin could be? It would be at this purple line right here at roughly 60,150, give or take. Well, again, I like using the words good. I like using the words great. I don't really like using the word perfect, but these last two calls, ladies and gentlemen, have been borderline perfect for reversals. Will they continue to stand? We're going to have to continue to wait on that, but did want to point out, if you guys have been following the channel, you would have gotten a good entry. You would have had a good take profit level and had a good entry for your next long on Bitcoin. Will it continue? What we have going on at the moment, we briefly this morning triggered a buy signal on the 1-hour chart, and we did come up here and kind of touch that smart trail. So that one's technically been dealt with. It's here and over. On that Luxembourg oscillator, we have now started to move back to the downside. I wouldn't call this necessarily a sell signal, but it is a little bit more of a correction. The good news that you guys need to know about, I love seeing this when you're looking for a trade opportunity. Whenever you see the bright red or the bright green start to come in a little bit on the money flow, that means the trend, whichever way it's going, it's picking up steam from excessive either buyers or sellers. In this case, on the red one, we're talking about excessive sellers. But that also means that to keep it going the downside, there's a little bit of manipulation. There's a little bit of excessive strength needed. But when that strength leaves, you get yourself a nice and aggressive move to the upside. So that's what we're kind of watching right now as we are moving downward with our oscillator. As the money flow is negative, you're seeing that creep come in with that bright red, meaning this downward movement's mostly being done by excessive sellers. Now, the other thing we're watching here is not just a break above this red smart trail on the 1-hour chart. You can see here, since we rejected at 66,000, we have ourselves a nice resistance trend line in play that we did come up and kiss just beautifully this morning. For us to get back bullish, to us to feel good about making a move back up to/above 66,000, I do want to see a combination of not only a breaking of this red line, but on the 4-hour chart, I do also want to see a buy signal come in on our 4-hour chart. Now, we're getting the green reversals. We've got the bullish divergence. That money flow, though, it is still negative, and it's not necessarily showing signs yet of curving to the upside. Doesn't mean the bottom's not in. Doesn't mean we can't curve over. It just means we really don't have any real strong confirmation of that buy signal. But when it does happen and we do break above this red line, I do believe it's only a matter of time. And we'll talk more about that global liquidity here in just a couple of minutes. But I do believe we're going to see a perfect storm for an Uptober to begin. Yes, again, October, if you look at the monthly chart, let's take a look here and let's address the elephant in the room. Right now, it's not October. Right now, we have ourselves a blue October, a bearish October. But the good news about this is, guys, it's October 2nd. And you guys didn't learn this in school. I hope you guys did. There's 31 days in the month of October. Fun fact, I have 2 family members with birthdays in the month of October. Shout out to my dad and shout out my baby brother, Caleb. We'll celebrate those towards the end of the month. I anticipate we're going to be celebrating with a nice pump in the crypto space. We have got a long couple of days left in the month of October to still have a positive October. Even going back here, go back to my screen teach room, check out our bullish September with this massive wick all the way down to where? 52,560. Does that mean that September was a bearish month? No, because a lot of volatility can happen within a 1-month candle, and we have just gotten started. Do not give up hope. Do not give up the faith that we can still have a very, very bullish month. But that being said, again, 4-hour chart. This is where my eyes are at the moment. I do want to see a buy signal coming on the 4-hour. I also want to see this negative trend line get flipped and go in the upward trajectory. That's what we're looking at here on Bitcoin. We'll keep you posted as it is dropping back down towards our purple line. Even though I like this still as a nice level, and I think there are a lot of signs that this is a strong level of support, if that level is lost, we are looking down here at 57,000. Still a higher low, still a part of what could be a very good bull trend and a part of a bullish October, but we want to make sure we're monitoring all of the different levels as they come. Before I leave Bitcoin, wow, what a little zoomed in area. Let's fix this for a second here. There we go. Let's get a good, fresh perspective of what Bitcoin liquidations are looking like today. You will see there is a small amount of liquidations down here back at 60,000. Again, we could have a somewhat of a double bottom down at that level, but check out where a lot of liquidity is sitting right now. It's all the way up here, just below $65,000. It continues to be interesting all the way back above 66. And after that point, you start to ask yourself, well, how much greater is it if you move out to the outside? Well, at the moment, we have to go a lot longer than this. Let's go 6 months. Let's go a really macro time frame over the next couple of months. Where is the liquidity sitting? Would you look at that? It's sitting up here at $72,500. A lot of liquidity up above us. Not necessarily a lot below us. What does that tell me? That tells me, if anyone knows what liquidations are, traders, long-term holders, institutions who like to mess with the market and send it all over the place have way more incentive over the next couple of months to send us back to the upside than they do sending us any lower to the downside. It's just not a lot of liquidations to get rid of to the downside, a whole lot to get rid of to the upside. There's your bullish outlook on the charts for Bitcoin for the next couple of months. Let's check out a couple other coins here this afternoon. Let's start off with SUI. SUI has been the belle of the ball here over the last couple of months. I say last couple of months, really kind of back here since early September. So we'll give it 1 month, right? We're 1 month ago today. We got a massive rally starting out here on SUI. Now, I tell people this, I should have entered a trade here, right? Sometimes when you do a lot of technical analysis, especially like random Q&A technical analysis, which we do on the channel a good amount here from time to time, sometimes people will just say, hey, Tim, can you tell me what SUI is looking like? And I did this technical analysis, and I told people, hey, guys, this looks like a falling channel attached to a very explosive rally that started back here in August in the beginning. This could be a big breakout where SUI ends up rallying all the way towards $1.80. Did I enter along on that position? No, I didn't. But hopefully some of you guys did, because that ended up being, again, we said this earlier, I don't love the word perfect. I like good. This is borderline a perfect call. It did play out very, very beautifully. But there's two things that I'm looking at to the downside for levels that you could be buying back in at. Let's take a look at what those levels are. Let's actually go out here to the daily chart and take a look. The first level that we're looking here, let's actually just start. Let's start real quickly before I do why we're going to the downside. Let's talk about why I'm potentially saying we should make a move potentially back down. Look at the high volume that's come in here more recently on SUI, but the highest daily candle volume we have seen in the history of SUI came in here just yesterday. But what form did it take? It took the form of what's called a doji candle. You guys see that blue candle with a big wick above and a big wick below, but very little candle body movement, matched with the highest volume we've ever seen in SUI. What does this symbolize? Well, volume has picked up here more recently as SUI has been climbing. But to see a massive volume candle when it's attached to bullish candles means the bulls are buying. But to see a massive volume candle attached to a doji candle, a very small little doji candle, communicates for the first time in the last couple of months, we have some major selling beginning here on SUI. Even right now, the candle at the moment has a couple more hours before it closes, but this would be what we call a shooting star candle and is also another bearish candle. So there's a couple reasons from that perspective to say that this does look like the markets on SUI are a little overextended. If you come in and you take a look at the oscillators, you're also going to notice the RSI has been saying we're 100% overbought since back here on September 19th. Well, now we're starting to see that rounding off start to happen. MACD looks like it's about to cross bearish for the first time since way back here on August 26th, and we had a nice correction in that formation. And then you come in here to the Luxago oscillator, where we're not getting a sell signal just yet, but we are getting some strong bearish divergence, where on the price actions, we still set a higher high, but on the oscillator, we're setting lower highs. These are all reasons for potential turning around on SUI. It's been rallying while other coins were kind of boring or moving to the downside. It looks like a potential coin that needs to kind of pull back. The two levels that I'm watching will be down here in the region of 130 to 135. And then if that one cannot hold, we're looking down here at roughly below $1. Big reasons for this is going to be daily smart trail and daily breaker block coming in here around 135 is the first strong level of support. But if we lose this, if we have to drop to the downside, the next strong level, I think there's going to be some arguments around 117, 118 that get interesting. But the next level I'm looking at is this strong order block, the former high from back here on August 24th. It is not uncommon whatsoever for price action to pull back down to former highs and turn them into support. Let's pretend that does happen and this ends up playing out. I just want you guys to see this. People are gonna get really upset if this happens. And I can tell you right now, a lot of you guys are probably saying, oh, I missed out on the SUI rally. If I could just buy back at $1, if I just had another chance to buy at $1, I would take advantage of it. But I guarantee you the same people that are saying that are going to come back and look at this dollar price action and say, we just slumped like 70%. It's not quite 70%. Let's do the actual math here. We just slumped a nice 50%. SUI must be over. It must be done. I'm not sticking around with SUI. But when you really zoom out and you take a look at what this means, first of all, Fibonacci, this is simply just a nice golden pocket pullback, a very common pullback in bull rallies for it to happen. If you take a look since the bottom we had back here on August 5th, these are still higher highs and higher lows. This is an extremely strong bull trend. I urge you guys, if you get an opportunity, if you see SUI at $1 and you like SUI, probably the right time to go ahead and get in. I'm not even saying we're going to get that far. I like the 130 area as well, but I'm telling you guys right now, I can't tell you what to do with your money because I'm not a financial advisor, and you guys, I don't even want you guys to always just blindly follow me. I want you to think for yourself, but I can tell you, as for Tim and Tim's wallets, Tim will be buying SUI both at $1.30 and $1. Mark it down right here. We have some other coins and other charts I wanted to take a look at, but T-Shroom, it's 317. We got a lot of stories to get into, and I really want to get into the big story of the day. The title is about it. The thumbnail is about it. It is the global liquidity. A lot of you guys might already know about this, but it's easy in a market of volatility, in a market of where one day is bullish and the next day is bearish, and you're down at levels, you're down in the last week or so in price action, to get discouraged and to ignore some of the big news stories sticking around. But this is one of the largest reasons why you should not be selling a single dime of your crypto right now. T-Stream, let's get into the details. What's happening right now in the markets?
All right, let's take a look here, Tim. Global liquidity is exploding. What this means for Bitcoin, inflation, and your crypto wallet, that's the kind of stuff we cover here at the Investing Bros. What a coincidence. Macroeconomic triggers deepen, Tim. Global liquidity is seeing a sharp increase as central banks around the world, particularly in China and the U.S., they go ahead and adopt policies aimed at pumping money into their economies. China recently announced a $143 billion stimulus package, which has driven strong economic momentum. On top of that, the People's Bank of China has mandated commercial banks to lower mortgage rates on existing home loans by at least 30 basis points below the loan prime rate by October 31st. All support its struggling property market. So they're doing it. China is doing it over there, but we're dancing to the same tune in the United States. But it's not just China. On September 18th, as you'll remember, the U.S. Federal Reserve implemented an aggressive 50 basis point rate cut, and according to the CME Fed Watch tool, the market now anticipates another 25 to 50 basis point cuts in November. If this occurs, the federal funds rate could drop to a range of 4.25 to 4.50, or 4.5 to 4.75. So somewhere in there, regardless, this is increasing liquidity. Global liquidity, or M2 supply, refers to money that is readily available, such as cash, bank deposits. When central banks loosen their policy by cutting interest rates or injecting stimulus into the economy, they increase the amount of money flowing through the system. It's very, very important. If you are unfamiliar with how liquidity dynamics, if you're unfamiliar with M2 money supply, that's okay, but I will say it's very, very important for investing. It's not just projects themselves that drive price. It is absolutely the global liquidity environment. We talk about it here in the Investing Bros pretty often. You can see the Fed This is from the Fed website. This is M2. You can see that it has been expanding here since 2023. Now, T-Shroom, they were hiking rates though, and they were pausing it. Doesn't matter. This is the chart, right? The M2 money supply was continuing to tick up, and now that we're getting cuts, it's going to only accelerate the rate at which M2 is expanding. You can take another look at this chart here. This is Bitcoin and M2 growth, global of year over year, and you can see here in blue is the M2 supply, money supply. In M2 growth year over year is that green. This green line that's filled in. So those two are gonna coincide. Now, I'm pretty sure that this one continue. Yeah. So this is just illustrating the expansion of M2. Bros, this is insane. Since July, this has really taken off. Moved up from the 1.5 range, the sub 2 range, to the 6 range here, equaling about $108 trillion. That's about $2 trillion more, $3 trillion, excuse me, than what we were seeing kind of before the end of July, before August. So very bullish. More money in the system equals more folks taking risk because money is easier to come by. Now, you may be hearing that. You may be very confused by that. That's okay, as you're used to individual budgets, the budget of a single person or a married couple. The budgets of massive hedge funds, of massive banks, operate much, much differently, right? They're looking to get money quickly from a bank that's bigger than them and then allocate it as quickly as they can to maximize returns, right? And when interest rates come down, right, or if there's government stimulus, that just accelerates the speed at which banks can get money and then allocate it. Hedge funds can get money and allocate it. Traders and investors at the retail level do the same thing, right? Just not as responsibly. So, Tim, there's a lot more that we could kind of dive into here, but just to pause and get your take on this liquidity going up. Just how bullish is there? Do you think that there's a place for a contrarian view in this type of a context, or is it pretty much just that simple? Money's expanding, but Bitcoin should go up.
Yeah, shout out to Matt C, who just gifted 10 Investing Bros memberships. Read those names here in just a couple of minutes. I want to answer this question. So let's start off with what a contrarian view would be. What are the bears saying about this news, right? You can't be mad at this news. You can't say, oh, there's more money and more people can borrow money. That's terrible for the markets, right? That's not the argument they're going to make. The argument a bear would make in this case is saying, do you see the stupid things that the governments are doing to further inflate their money? We'll take a look at the Dixie chart here in just a couple of minutes to look at what's happening there. But ultimately, what China's doing, what the United States are doing, they're going to temporarily pump markets. And what's the definition of temporary? I'm not saying week or two. I really think it's going to be a couple years. But eventually, yes, someone will have to pay the bills for why their money loses value and is inflated into oblivion. That being said, that's the only argument, is that this move will cause a stern and harsh correction in markets later on. But that's just the world we live in. People kick the cans down the road. Governments kick the cans down the road. They want to make people happy right now. Guess what, though? Wealthy individuals, and I hope a lot of people listening to this, even if you only have $5, if you think like a wealthy person, you're going to make a lot of money. Wealthy people understand that this is a golden opportunity to take a lot of that fiat currency that they've been storing up, that they've been building up, and to exchange it for something that has an actual future. Guess what that is? It's Bitcoin. It's cryptocurrencies. This is going to be a major catalyst for why this bull market, I've said it before and I'll say it again, this bull market is going to be one that I think actually blows previous bull markets out of the water. Does that mean I think every single coin is going to do like another 50 to 100x like we've seen in past bull markets? No. But in the sense of how much money is going to flow in to the markets, I think it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. Let's actually take a look at something here really quickly, T-Shroom, and understand what's happening here. Here we go. Let's take a look at the previous couple bull market tops. For example, the bull market, I guess I'm only going to see a couple here because this chart only goes back to 2018. There we go. All right, we're going to see a little more history. Perfect. It's loading on me still. 2018, right? So we got the bull market top right there at the end of 2017, early 2018. Either way, the total crypto market cap, made it to about $765 billion. It would drop into December of 2018 all the way down to 92, massive dip in the total crypto market cap. And then during the bull market top of 2021, we would make it as high as just about to $3 trillion. You could say, all right, that's going to be, $2.9 trillion added from the bottom, or you could say it's, about $2.2 trillion from the top. In this case, we're making price prediction videos right now about how high this could get. We have different stages of where the bull market could be. Early estimates, though, and it's not just myself, it's a lot of analysts believe if a 4-year cycle continues, like if we get another top late in 2025, we could see a move up to $11 trillion. Well, quick math, tops to tops, that would still be an increase of $8 trillion from the last peak of the crypto market cap. If you come down here to the bottom, we bottomed out at $740 trillion. That would be a massive, massive gain. One of the reasons why is because we're adding liquidity like never before. But in this case, whereas in past times where high liquidity almost exclusively goes towards stock markets and commodities such as gold or real estate, now institutions have turned their heads towards cryptocurrency, mostly Bitcoin, but don't be surprised when others like Ethereum, Chainlink, AVAX, and others also catch the eyes of these wealthy individuals who understand, I've got a window. Is this window 5 months, 1 year, 2 years? I don't know what the duration of that window extensively looks like, but they have an opportunity to invest in the next upcoming markets. It's like being able to invest in the internet early all over again. Watch them take advantage of it. Watch the crypto market caps and the prices of your favorite cryptocurrencies skyrocket over the next couple of months, maybe next year and some change. This is the reason why liquidity, there's an opportunity. It's a window. Take advantage of it.
I love it, Tim. Some really good alpha there. We're getting hyped up. We're getting bullish. We're going to keep the bullish train going here, bros, because our poll in chat, let's see, right now is rocking out at 39% yes. October ends 64,000 to 70,000 range. Answering the question, will October end as the bullish month? Well, that is reflective of a very smart, I think we have probably the smartest community here at the Investing Bros community, but it gets even better. Let's take a look at the data here. This is coming in from CoinGlass. 80% of Octobers were actually green. 100% of election years had a green October, November, and December for Bitcoin, and 100% of years with a green September had a green October, November, and December. Bros, Q4 starts tomorrow, right? We are getting we're two days into Q4, so we are extremely bullish when we look at the actual data. When we stop and look at the theories behind how global liquidity works and money supply, that gets us bullish, right? But if you look at the actual track record of Octobers, it's an election year. I think we get a Pumptober. I think we see the Uptober of legend that has been discussed. Could there be a contrarian argument? I think we've tried to make it here. I think it's a weak one, right? I think ultimately here Bitcoin has been suppressed. There's a chance it will continue to be suppressed. Some kind of shadow sellers out there. However, I think at some point, and I think it has to do with the election, there's going to be a trigger point, and Bitcoin is absolutely going to, like you say, Tim, it's going to shoot out of the water like a basketball that's been held underwater. I think it's such a great analogy, and I really like it. I really like it a lot.
Now, I want to add to that a little bit. I want to be very fair. Those of you who remember that same chart, could you pull that chart back up there, T-Shroom, that month-to-month chart and tracking like different months and how they've been historically? I want to be very fair with people. I'm not a big fan of these charts. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not going to say the only, because I think there were a couple other analysts out there, but we were a very small minority of analysts calling for a bullish September. And what I said was, I do not believe in these charts. I do not believe in the coincidence of saying, oh, well, if you look at the last 10 Septembers, well, 7 of them have been red, so that means automatically it's going to be red. First of all, there were 3 that were green, but even more so, or I guess 4 that, no, this one makes the 4th one. There were 3 that were green. Even more so, That isn't anything logical. That is, to me, way more coincidental. So for that, I want to make sure you guys understand my reason for thinking we're going to have an October is not because of the history of Octobers. Although, at least when it comes to the month of October, you start to see a growing trend that's not just a coincidence, but it is a continual thing. What starts to happen in October? First of all, it's headlining the most bullish quarter of the year. Why? Well, I'm not going to say every single, most of the major holidays, right? We do have some others that are big earlier in the year, but majority of the major holidays that require spending, that require travel, all happen in quarter four. And especially the two biggest ones, this one is true, Thanksgiving and Christmas. You could maybe make an argument even New Year's could come in there at number 3. All happen, and people are preparing for all of that right now. But as T-Shroom said also, it is an election year. And historically, we always go well, or the economy does well going into elections. Why? Because the sitting president, the sitting government entity, or the party, has every incentive in the world to boost the numbers, to fluff the stats, to try to get reelected or keep their party in power. We almost never, I'm not going to say it has never happened because it has in the past, but more often than not, presidential elections in general, you actually see the markets do very, very well. So it's not just a normal, this month is traditionally bullish or bearish, like that sell in May and walk away, or walk away in September because they're more often not bearish. This one actually has some history and logical reasons as to why it's going to be bullish, and all of them stack up to say October should definitely still be on the table. Some of you might say, Tim, if everyone thinks it, isn't that going to be bearish? Not necessarily, because again, the force of how strong and how bullish the different scenarios are coming into this are just going to be too much for any bear, any manipulator to actually control and bring it back down. They're going to ride the wave with you, and they're going to make money here in the month of October.
Absolutely, Tim. Let's go ahead and jump on into the next story. You thought you were bullish already. Well, you're not bullish enough. Tim Peterson dropping a tweet here saying Bitcoin in October, most of October doesn't start until after the 19th. Be patient. He's pulled some really cool data here to show that by the 19th, you really start, and that's about halfway through this image, you start to, whoa, that's a little bit too much of the image. You start to see a pump, right? The mean, that darker blue line, not mean like a bulldog, median as in MEDIAN. It's a totally completely different word. But by then you get, this is the median outcome for October. Of course, the Bitcoin price, the value of a $1 investment into Bitcoin. So very, very bullish, moving up. And this data goes back to 2015. Man, it's a great time to be a bull. It's a great time to have been part of a community that isn't trading and investing on emotion, right? That is looking at the data as it comes every single day, as it comes across the news or it comes across the charts, and making decisions accordingly. And day after day, here at the Investing Bros, we have found zero reasons to sell Bitcoin, going all the way back to July of 2023, at the doldrum of the bear market, right? You've been tuning in, you've been finding hopium, meaning, purpose in continuing to hold your Bitcoin. And a lot of folks are telling us that the Investing Bros and other communities like it are the reason why they haven't sold. So if it feels like a really bullish day today, it's because this is one of the last dips. It feels like one of the last dips that's coming, and we don't want people to get left behind. Just because of what's going on in the macro environment. So that we have some more news, but that concludes our Bitcoin news. We did actually go ahead.
We got a super chat that came in here.
That's right.
Wanted to read Big M period 012. Very specific name there because there's probably 11 other Big M's. Said good afternoon / evening to the best crypto community on YouTube. 100K subs by the end of 2025. Still in my predictions. Listen, Big M, thank you. First of all, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for that prediction. We're going to need a lot of help to get there. I mean, we only have 3 months left. We're sitting at 31.5, right?
No, Tim. No.
Need a lot more.
He said by the end of 2025.
Oh, you're right. Tim's dumb. Ugh, should have remembered that. 2025, yeah, we have a month.
We'll get them next time.
All right. Let's recalibrate. Let's rewind here. Do you have a rewind sound button there, T-Shroom?
I don't, but we do. We can rewind back to when Matt C. gave out 10 memberships And I'm trying to find where that is in the chat stream here. It was a good time.
It
Matt
was
C.
a lot of names. Oh, I found it. I can
Okay.
read some of these names.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know how to do math, but I know how to read names. Ken Munson. I'd say that prematurely. I'm actually not good at reading names either. J.R. Block. I've seen him in here for a while. Great to have him in the memberships. Theo Rodriguez. Ooh. All right, dude. Oh, there. Okay, that one. When it strings together, that's fun. All right, dude. Mike Play. Mike Play is an OG. Glad to have him in here. Harp. Crypto Maniac 1776. Happy birthday, America. Rob Harrison, Franco Milan, and Monkey Snake 6 all receive memberships by Matt C. Let's regroup. Let's read the super chat. T-Shroom, we got a super chat from Big M.012. He said, good afternoon, evening to the best crypto community on YouTube. 100K subs by the end of 2025. Still in my predictions. Thank you so much, Big M.
That
awesome.
means
we have a year and 3 months still to do it.
That's right.
Absolutely, I think that is doable, but we need your help. Go smash that subscribe button. JC just gave $5 and thoughts on Chainlink. That's my thoughts on Chainlink. Love it.
Coin.
Yeah. People have been begging in the chats recently, when are we going to do the next update to the Chainlink price prediction? Give us a couple of weeks. We got a couple of coins going through. Tomorrow morning, an Ethereum price prediction video will be coming out here on the channel, so pay attention to that one. Chainlink is definitely coming soon. I don't know if it's my next one I'm working on. We're going to go through a list of them, but Chainlink price prediction update will be coming very, very, very soon. Do not be afraid. Bitcoin retesting that $60,100 level. In fact, I think we're slightly below it here. We're slightly below. Again, this is why, perfect. I don't like the word perfect. That is okay. We're going to keep an eye on this one, though. Don't freak out just yet. We're going to watch how this kind of responds. We told you guys there was some heavy liquidity there at 60,000. If you were to go look at the 3-day chart, let's refresh right here and see how that one. There you go. We could go even here a little bit lower, a little bit towards 59,800 to remove all of that liquidity. Not that big of a deal, though. If we start to close candles, multiple hourly and 4-hourly candles, we get a daily close well below this purple line. Now we're starting to talk about that 57,000 being back on the table. But a lot of time and a lot of price action between now and then, so let's not freak out too much. Muscle Mike with the super chat, and then we're going to get back into the news saying, can Kaspa now at $3 billion in market cap get to $1 this cycle with its 24-hour volume pretty low, 50 million, and no T1 listing on Cardano in 2020 at the same $4 billion market cap, had over $200 million daily volume. Greetings from Germany. There's a lot happening there, but the short answer is yes. Can Kaspa make it to $1? Absolutely. In fact, I think I still have Kaspa making it well over $1. How much higher? I'll save it for a Kaspa price prediction video. Again, probably coming out in the next couple of weeks, next couple of months. But I still think that $1 is very easily doable for Kaspa. And yes, you're right. It has no tier 1 listing. Guess what? That's just bound to change at some point. I don't know how. I don't know when. I really don't understand why, to this point, we haven't already got it listed on like a Binance or a Coinbase. That's kind of like the same question. Hester Peirce always said, I don't know why it took so long for XRP to the case between Ripple and SEC to get over. It's kind of the same thing. There's about as much sense as to why the XRP cat lasted as long as it did as Kaspa not being on a tier 1 listing. With that said, if you guys do want to buy Kaspa, one of the places you can do it is CoinW. Check out our link down below. We have an option for that. You can spot buy Kaspa over there. But also, if it's already ranked very highly and doing well without being listed on tier 1, imagine what's going to happen when it does get listed on the Binance, on the Coinbase exchanges. It is coming eventually. I would be surprised if I'm wrong about that. That will be massive. It'll bring a whole new level of adoption to a coin that's already doing well despite not having any of those tier 1 listings. Be bullish on Kaspa. T-Shroom, let's get back into some news stories and continue. Real quick, like check before we do that, though. Again, we want to give away $50 to someone, but we only have 227 likes, despite the fact that we have almost 700 people watching. We could easily, guys, easily get 600 likes. Smash the like button. Let's get somebody $50. T-Shroom, let's jump back into the news.
Well, Tim, it's a good time to get back into the news because we actually have some breaking news right here. This man, Gurbir S. Grawal.
That's a fun one.
Who is he? Who is he, Tim? Take a wild guess. Who do you think this is?
Your dad.
You're never going to guess it.
No.
This man right here, he's the Director of Enforcement at the Securities and Exchange Commission, Gurbir Grewal. He's stepping down and departing the agency. This could potentially be foreshadowing of a greater shakeup there at the SEC, of course. Gary Gensler, a figure who's kind of been an opponent to crypto, not so much an opponent to Bitcoin, but could this latest departure from the commission potentially be a little bit of a tipping of the hat, a little bit of an early smoke signal, if you will, of something that could be coming maybe later this year. Certainly, if Donald Trump is elected, I think that Gary Gensler's days are numbered. But Tim, let's go ahead and get into the altcoin news here. Franklin Templeton expands blockchain fund to Aptos. Aptos, a coin that we haven't heard too much about recently, but we hadn't heard much from Sui or Say for a while, and look at them now in the news. So let's get into a little bit of the details here. The asset manager Franklin Templeton says Wednesday that the move was a massive step in the right direction to innovate in the name of a truly decentralized and accessible financial future. Scrolling down, they chose the Aptos network given its unique characteristics, Tim, which meet their rigorous sustainability standards for the Benji platform. That's Franklin Templeton's head of digital assets, Roger Basin, reporting on behalf of his own corporate company there. FOBXX is a digitized fund that lets consumers put cash into U.S. government securities, cash and repurchasing agreements. Investors can buy shares and hold them in digital wallets via Franklin Templeton's Benji Investments mobile app. But take note, Aptos is not alone here. Franklin Templeton has put the fund on a number of blockchains, including AVAX, Arbitrum, Stellar, and Polygon. AVAX was the most recent addition before Aptos. So it is welcome news for Aptos hodlers who've been sitting there waiting for that big moment. Maybe we'll check out the charts for Aptos as well. But just know that this is not a unique partnership, that Avalanche, Stellar Lumens, Arbitrum, and Polygon have all been approached and entered into a partnership there with Franklin Templeton. But this is, I think, the bigger story here, Tim, as we transition to the charts and look at Aptos, is really a testament to what the future of crypto is. In this next segment, it is tokenization. Tokenizing treasuries seems to be all the rage. It's not very creative, in my opinion, but it seems to be what all the big Wall Street firms want to do, and how they want to dance with crypto is getting involved in tokenization. So it's the big name, it's the big narrative for this cycle. A lot of folks thought it was going to be gaming. A lot of folks thought it would be a lot of other stuff, but it seems to be tokenization. Tim, let's go ahead and jump over and look at Aptos.
Yeah, in short, there's a little bit of a correction probably in play at the moment, but we'll address the longer-term bullish action. There's bearish divergence on the table at the moment here on the daily chart, where we set higher highs with our price action while setting lower highs here with our oscillators. You'll notice even though the money flow turns sideways, it's slightly up. You got a decent little sell signal back in here as well. Red reversal, bearish momentum, along with the bearish divergence and negative money flow. This would imply at least a touching probably here at 713, if not all the way down to 674. But we'll address that more in a little bit. You're going to see the MACD also calming down here, getting a bearish cross for the first time since back here on August 31st, where we would continue to drop to guess where? The smart trail here on the daily chart. So in short, I'm not saying that Aptos is about to take off in the next couple of hours, next day or two, but when I zoom out, I turn some noise off here. There is something to be aware of. There's actually two things that I want to kind of watch, kind of be playing out over the next little bit. The first one, it's not the prettiest inverse head and shoulders I've ever seen, but you do see a left shoulder, a head with a lower low, and then almost a matching of that right shoulder's perspective. This is inverse head and shoulders pattern. This would call for a breakout eventually to the upside. People are going to be looking for a larger move upwards to, let's kind of pull this out and move it over for a breakout prediction. There we go right there. This could potentially send the price back up as high as $13.39. Now, there's some other things I want to take a look at before I just declare that's the exact level that I want to say, but keep in mind right there, $13.30. Let's put something right there. $13. we'll go 43 cents. 43 cents, give or take, is what we're going to go with. Some other things I want to take a look at whenever I see these types of things is also what do we see on a longer time frame for the next couple of months? Let's say the weekly chart, as far as what Luxalgo is saying for potential move to the upside. It's going to come in a little lower, even though this is scooping to the upside. But I think a potential move with this bullish formation could take us a little higher here towards $12 at the least, back up here to our smart trail. But a couple other things that I'm watching. Let's look at Fibonacci. Fibonacci is going to probably put golden pocket right in that area, just a little bit below, but we'll kind of lower this one down to where we see the smart trail and our golden pocket. 1137 could be a very interesting spot. Even if we fail to go all the way to the full breakout, that 1343 of the inverse head and shoulders pattern, we still see a bullish catalyst for at least to move back up here towards 1137. And I'll do one more for you. Let's go take a look a little bit closer in here. Let's go to the 8-hour chart and examine what's happening with this. Let's go 12-hour, actually. I want to see and turn this off. What I noticed here, a very explosive move. You always want to pay attention when you're looking at charts on this explosive move and say, all right, what ends up happening after that explosive move? What kind of formation do we kind of build afterwards? And it's a little bit messy, but as a whole, what I'm kind of looking at and seeing develop is a very slight falling channel pattern. We start to slow down our momentum. Let's kind of move this out to this right here. Boom. We kind of slowed down back here on September 21st, but only sideways and now into this falling channel. Could that falling channel, again, drop down here to the lower levels like we were calling for? Yes, it could. But attached to this bullish formation, this could be a major catalyst to the upside. Let's go back into the daily chart. Where did I say that a good level for a pullback could be? Back down to the smart trail on 713. Let's pretend that ends up hitting. We hit this red line one more time, and then we make a break to the upside. That will give us a price closer towards that other prediction, just below $11, but close enough to say that's an interesting spot to look for a price prediction. You got the golden pocket. I'll pull it back up. The golden pocket right in that area. A smart trail right in that area. Oh, actually, that's the bottom level of the golden pocket. A lot of things kind of showing maybe a shorter term pullback here on Aptos, but with its more bullish news, with what I'm seeing on grander time frames, a big reason to look for a big move to the upside, pushing towards that $11 mark, something we haven't seen since back here in April of this year.
Very cool. Yeah, and Tim, something not so cool, Bitcoin is now below 60,000. I don't know if you're tracking that as well. I'm getting all kind of notifications. Bitcoin down below 60,000. So it's what we kind of didn't want to happen, but it looks like it's back up above now, but did briefly tick down.
You got a notification. You got a notification that was a little delayed. It's actually back at 60,200.
Right.
This purple line, here's what I'm saying, guys. We could lose this purple line very easily. Actually, let's go back to that daily chart because I like the smart trail being shown right there. We could lose this $60,000 100 level. We could start closing candles below it. It's absolutely doable. I expect yesterday. We made a nice bounce up today. Does that mean we're going lower? Not necessarily just yet. I'll remind you guys, if you just came in, again, we have some interesting liquidity sitting right here at 60,000. The problem is, though, if you're saying, oh, that's it, we're going much, 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 much lower, when you start to look at these grander charts, like the 6-month chart, there's really not a lot here below us. Is there something interesting at 57? Yes. That's why it's on our table of possibility. But if I am looking at this chart, I'm more keeping my eyes fixed to the upside. This move back up above 70,000 for the next big move, breaking that higher high that we had, or the lower high we had back on July 28th, and starting us out on a nice bullish bull market that we set new all-time highs before the end of the year. Heck, maybe even before the election on November 5th. Keep you posted on that one, though. If you guys want to be up to date with this and not have to wait every single day for our live shows, make sure you're in our Discord. And the best thing to do would be in our trading group. If you want to be able to trade these levels, if you want to see when they're happening and understand throughout the day where the best levels of support, resistance, where the weakness, the strength, how the markets are moving, we have an extremely active trading group that is posting nonstop in there. I mean, T-Shroom, I'll be in there talking with people. I'll leave for 5 minutes, just going to get a glass of water, and I'll come back and I cannot even find the last time I commented. It takes me like the full 5 minutes to read through everyone's chat. That is how active that group is. We got a lot of experts in there who are trading phenomenally, making profits every single day. If you want to be a part of it, check out our VIP trading group and sign up today. You will not regret it. You'll make your money back just like that.
Snap of a finger, if not faster, in some cases.
Probably faster. Yeah.
I love it. Got a little Trump-esque hyperbole there. We're having fun. All right, Tim, I think it's time to play the game. We got a little factoid going on here. It's a good one as well, Tim. You may not be ready for this, I will say. Okay. Why was October originally the 8th month in the ancient Roman calendar? Tim, was it A, it was named after a Roman god of harvest? B, octo means 8 in Latin? C, it marked the end of the Roman military season? Or D, it was Julius Caesar's favorite month? Tim, what is the answer?
It was not Julius Caesar's favorite month. He would have named it after himself. So that D is easy to remove. I don't think C passes the sniff test either. Octo, when was Latin heavily utilized? I don't know if that's hard. I'm down between A and B, and I know that a lot of the months were named after Roman. Well, they weren't really named after Roman gods. They were more named after Roman leaders. So I think that's a little bit of a fallacy there in A. I'm going to go just because of that with B. Process by elimination, I think B makes the most logical sense.
All right, he's locking it in, folks. Get your answer in there in the live chat or dock it away mentally to practice some discipline. See if it's right. Whoa, it is.
Hey, there we go. I wasn't sure if I was right or not.
October was the 8th month in the ancient Roman calendar because its name comes from the Latin word octo, which means 8. The Roman calendar was originally based on the moon's phases and had only 10 months, making the year 304 days long. The Romans added the months of July and August to honor Julius Caesar, or Julius Caesar, for the Hispanics, for the Hispanic pronunciation, that is, and Augustus, respectively, which moved the following months back by 2. We are having ourselves some fun here today, Tim, and it's a great time to hold Bitcoin because I would not have wanted to be alive in the Roman times because I wouldn't have been able to hold Ethereum or Bitcoin. So
true. Real quickly, there was a question asked earlier. Before we move on, don't go to my screen just yet, T-Shroom.
Okay.
Pull the wrong. I want to make sure I pull up and show people how to do this. Someone was asking, when you're going to sign up for Lux Algo, which one is the best one to get? Well, if anyone is looking to do that again, and you want to trade, first of all, buying Lux Algo and what I'm about to show you can get you access to our trading group. You won't get a fancy hat or some of the channels in Discord won't get access to, but you will get access to all of our trading content, which is a deal there. But go to the video, go to my screen now, T-Shroom. Look at those two good-looking guys right there.
Oh, wow.
Doing a show. I don't know why it's freezing like that. That's weird. Maybe it's just doesn't like seeing itself. You click in our descriptions and scroll down here to Lux Algo. Now, you'll see here it says get 20% off the best trading indicator on the market and bonus access in our VIP trading group when you're using our link. If you don't use this link, if you just click in luxalgo.com, you can purchase that way. But number one, you won't be attached to us, so you can't get into our trading group. And number two, you'll have to pay 100% full price versus when you use our link, you click here on this, you'll get given, hit the 30-day risk-free. By the way, that's another really cool feature is 30 days risk-free. If you buy yearly, you get a discount of additional 40% off on top of that 20% off just for using our link. If you buy monthly, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. Either way you want to do it, you're going to make this money back within the first month, but you do need to purchase premium, right? So first of all, premium is what gets you into our group. Essential no longer does that, but also Essential only gives you access to this, right? So if you'll see me using the order blocks, and that's what effectively you'll get that indicator, the price action concepts. That's what you got. Now, order blocks are phenomenal levels of support and resistance. You can see here, we're about to do some XRP today. XRP rejected on a nice order block right here. It's falling back down to another order block in play. Order blocks are very valuable, But what you will not get is you will not get these waves of support and resistance and the buy signals with the take profits and the stop losses, or my favorite levels of take profits and stop losses, order blocks in play. You won't get the order blocks. You will not get the greatest oscillator that I think has ever been created for trading, the Lux Algo Premium Matrix Oscillator. This is awesome. This is the number one way I enter trades. But again, you got to get the premium version if you do want to access that and get availability to it. So hopefully that answers the question. Use our link, save yourself 20% at least. If you buy the whole year, another 40% off that 20% savings. Not a bad deal. Let's go over here, T-Shroom, and take a look at the rest of that XRPTA that I wanted to do. And we're going to wrap out the stream right after XRP, I really do think. Disappointing move here for XRP. It did hit the take profit, so that's a good sign. But we had a golden opportunity here with XRP that is lost. And this is going to continue to discourage people from XRP, and I very much understand why. I'm continuing to hold on to my small bag, but we had broken out of a trend line that was set way back, or started, I should say, back in April of 2021. A multi-year descending level of resistance. For the first time, we broke and even closed a daily candle above that level. However, the very next day, we closed back down below it, ruining an official breakout, coming back down to a very significant level of support back down here at 57 cents. When this breaks, it will be good, but you do see all the signs of why XRP is cooling off. You got some bearish divergence. You see a bearish MACD cross. RSI is crossing here below the 50. Where are we looking for potential pullback to? Is it simple as just this? Well, the daily chart does give us not only an order block, but a smart trail right in this range, right about 57 cents. This should bring some buying pressure to XRP, should get us moving back to the upside. But at this point, what I want to make sure people understand, what you're looking for confirmation that XRP is ready to run. And I know a lot of you are going to get tired of this. A lot of you are saying, Tim, give up on it. XRP is never going to make it. Well, listen, do I think XRP is going to $420? No, I do not. Do I think XRP has an explosive run in the next couple of months? Yes, I do. What I want to see is not just a daily candle close above this red line. I want to see an entire daily candle both open and close above this red line, and that should be a decent sign. It's not necessarily 100% guaranteed, but a decent sign that XRP is ready to make a move. And in case you're wondering just how great of a move XRP is capable of making, this is keyword capable. It's not guaranteed whatsoever, but you could see XRP in this bull market at the very least make it all the way up here. Let's take a look at that breakout. All the way up here at $5.80. That's good enough for a brand new all-time high. Am I going to wait to that level to take profit on XRP? Probably not. Probably not. I'm probably going to look at the first really big explosive move at XRP and look to take those profits and put them somewhere else. But that being said, if you have a bag of XRP and you've considered selling it, we're close. We're very close to a big breakout. I encourage you, hold on at least to a portion of it. Let it ride. Take some profit later, maybe as we cross $1. Maybe you wait till $2 or $3. But XRP pump should be coming. It's just a matter of time. I know that's frustrating. Give it a little more time. You'll not regret it. With that said, T-Shroom, any closing thoughts from you before we wrap it up?
We had some breaking news already. The director of the SEC the director of enforcement stepping down. We've got two more breaking news to cover here. A lot of breaking news. Kind of crazy. So this is the big bull one here. Congressman Ro Khanna supports establishing a Bitcoin strategic reserve. That's what's being reported from Radar. Bros, whenever we see headlines this bullish coming out on Twitter first, sometimes they're just completely fake. So take this for what it is, but it is out there. It's circulating. And Ro Khanna, surprisingly, is actually a Democrat here, U.S. House of Representatives of California's 17th District. So growing bipartisan support for a Bitcoin strategic reserve, a very, very bullish outcome indeed. And then we have a not so great headline here, breaking: Bank of America is down. Customers reporting zero balances, and you can confirm. There's headlines from all over, PC Mag, CNN, Forbes, Los Angeles Times, showing that Bank of America as actually having some issues with their website. Hopefully these issues get fixed. It looks like it could have been as long as 2 hours that this issue has been known, and I'm sure they're working extremely hard to get this fixed. Bros, has this affected you and your bank accounts? If so, reach out to someone that chat with them, and just talk it through. Do not make any stupid decisions based on this. It's more than likely just a computer glitch. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
I don't want to say fake news. I have a Bank of America account, and I'm not going to show you guys because I don't
Smart.
think there's any private.
Smart, Tim.
But I am not showing zero in my bank account at the moment.
That's good.
So maybe it's only affecting certain people. It has not affected the Warren household. But if you have Bank of America, go check your accounts. Good news is you're going to be okay. This happened with Coinbase, and it's not the same because these are obviously different things, but there was a time period a couple of months ago, T-Shroom, we covered it live on the show, where Coinbase went out for a little bit. Coinbase showed $0 in people's accounts. My account was one of them. There was a brief moment where I was like, I'm glad I have a cold wallet. I'm glad the majority of my money's in a cold wallet, but for the little bit I have on here, that sucks. I thought about it. I was like, I just don't think this is real. I think this is a glitch. Waited a couple of hours. Sure enough, it came back. Don't want to push any fear-mongering and scare people, but this is a good reminder. Banks, while I'm not predicting any major crash to happen in the next day or two, really, I think banks still have a couple more years before they become problematic. But I really do encourage people to think about it. When I first got invested in crypto, T-Shroom, one of the best pieces of advice, do not invest any more than you to lose. And I really do think that's good investment advice.
Yeah.
However, I think that same advice potentially should be given to people when it comes to bank accounts. Do not have more money in your bank account than you can afford to lose. What do you do with it? Well, I encourage you to get into cryptocurrency and get some cold wallet storage. Even if you just hold USDT or USDC stablecoin, put it on USDC, let that thing gain money, but hold it in a private wallet where no one can get rid of that or touch it except for you. There is, I think, a link down below for Arculus wallets. I could be wrong, T-Shirt, but that is the cold wallet that we recommend. That is a solution.
Yeah, there is
a lot of money there. I hold a lot of my money. The majority of my net worth is in cryptocurrency. But that's also because if I lost it all, I think we have major problems. That's what I've gotten to now, T-Shirt. If crypto goes down, I think we're going to have bigger problems than how much money is in your bank account that we're going to be worrying about. We are going to wrap out the stream now, though. Thank you, T-Stream, for that breaking news.
For sure.
With that said, make sure, everyone, we did not get to 600 likes, despite the fact that we had all the people we needed to do it. Let's do better tomorrow. Let's smash the like buttons. Smash it on your way out. Hit subscribe. Do not miss a single piece of content we're putting out because we are putting out some absolute gems helping you guys navigate these markets. This is the best community in all of crypto. Join it today. With that said, love you guys. See our members for our members Q&A right after this. Adios.